Hey, Bunny Hoppers. I'm about to tell you all something that I never told any of you before. But before I do, make sure to like and subscribe. Okay, you see, when I was younger, my parents fought a lot. And I was worried that they might get a divorce. But they always said that they wouldn't. I confronted them. But
I think you're lying again, lying again, lying again, lying again. I think it's fine, but you say that I'm lying again. Lying again, lying again, lying again, lying again. Just let it happen so we can.
years later, me and my family just got back from an amazing 6-month trip. And we were staying at a rental house. And they announced that they were doing something called Mom and Dad Days. And honestly, I didn't mind. I didn't think much of it. But one day, when they argued, I don't remember what I said to my mom, but she said that they were splitting up. And I was really upset. And as she kept on talking, I thought maybe I misheard her. Until I was having lunch with them, my mom said, we had a rough conversation, and I said something like, yeah, I thought she said that you two were getting a divorce. Parents said they were, and I was crushed. And I kept on saying this was the worst year ever. Yeah, I was being very dramatic about that. And I know that they married young and that my dad was 5 years older than my mom, and they argued a lot. But what I was really upset about was the fact they broke the promise. And that hurt a lot. And 2 years later, they got their own places. In a few weeks or months, well, a month, my mom brought this guy home. I'm pretty sure you all know him from my Merry Christmas I posted on my community. My mom introduced him as Vortex. By the way, that's not his real name, that is his pen name. And then she introduced us. At first, I was really nervous because I'm really shy. But I started talking to him, and he also brought some leaves for us to play in. And we had so much fun in them. And then he started coming over a lot since then. And for some reason, I started seeing a connection between them. But I didn't think much of it. But one day, when we were bowling, I saw his arm around her. I was suspicious of that, but he moved his arm from her after he saw me looking at them. Suspicious face. And I was playing in the arcade with my brothers. I turned to see them holding hands. And that just broke my heart. And I was so upset that I decided to ignore my mom. Why was I so upset, you ask? 'Cause I was so confident that my parents were gonna get back together that it kind of caught me off guard. And as my plan, ignore mom, was about to begin, she came up to me and had a talk with me. She asked why I was so upset. Then I explained to her how I felt. She said as she wiped my tears away, but I think she said something about her and dad weren't getting back together, and it was a bitter pill to swallow. But I knew it was time to accept that they were divorced. To be honest, I really loved him, and I really loved how he makes my mom happy. And I loved it when they kissed. Something that my mom or dad didn't do when they were together. And when my dad had met him, he loved him and they lived happily ever after. I'm just kidding. I wish that would have happened, but that's when I finally saw my dad's true face. Let me explain. To others, he seems to be a happy person who just got divorced by his horrible wife. And there's 2 freaking restaurants who love him. One of them I went to forever. The other one, he took me and my brothers to 2 times. And I'm not sure if this time was the first or second time we went there, but our waiter said to us, "Your dad is amazing. Everyone here loves him." Bro, you barely know the guy, and you are just gonna assume he's the most amazing person in the whole wide world? If you lived under the same roof we were living in, you would understand that he is a giant piece of... I am just kidding. I didn't say that. I just burned on the inside. And if you're not on the people that loves him list, then he hates you. And among those people on that list is Vortex. And I'm pretty sure my dad hates him because he's dating my mom. Anyways, my dad, let's just say I don't know how many kids are watching this, but let's just say he drinks beer. And I don't mean the sugary kind that I love, even though it gives me really bad stomach aches because of it. But I still love it, and I haven't drank it in a very long time. I mean the really bad stuff. And after an argument, I finally started to see my dad's true colors. And I noticed him drinking beer a lot and talking bad about Vortex too. And I mean, I knew my dad was strict, and he did grab my arm and my older brother's hard to drag us out of our pool. Yeah, we used to have a pool before we moved. Anyway, when he let go, I had 2 bruises, like an equal sign. And I also called myself Equal Girl. It was actually pretty funny and pretty sad too. And I also made an excuse that he's been through a lot. And when I mean a lot, I mean by him losing his mom, aka my grandma, a few years ago. We're talking like when my mom was pregnant with my little brother. But after knowing his real face, I could barely recognize him anymore. And also, he's also been having an argument once in a while. It used to be once a month, but the good news, he stopped doing it once a month. And he started arguing with my older brother. And he sometimes says that he acts so miserable. And one time, you want to know something funny? He also said that about me. Like, bro. I mean, it was only one time, but still. Doesn't know how to keep his nose out of other people's businesses. God, there is so many things that I want to say about him. There's so many stories I want to tell. Oh, like, this story isn't really that bad. I was kind of being a bit picky eater. You see, I wanted a sandwich. We were out of some stuff to make it. Only had bread and cheese. And he decided to make a grilled cheese. And I didn't even like homemade grilled cheese. And I texted my mom about it, and he saw it and read it. Then he got mad. Just to be clear, this was a few years ago before I knew about his real face. Anyway, he yelled at me, and I went into the closet after a while, and he called my mom. And then he gave me his phone so I could talk to her. Don't remember the rest, though. Oh, and he is seeing a girl who has 2 daughters. We haven't met yet. My dad said they were just friends. Yeah, like I was that dumb. And he also said that if they did start dating, he'd introduce her to Mom and then introduce her to us. And the girl's name is, you know what, I'll just call her Jessica. I did see a picture of her, and if they start dating, I'd be glad, but I was scared. When they get married, he'd reveal his true face, and I don't want someone to go through the same thing my mom went through. And that's the reason he isn't in my videos anymore. But in the whole story, in my OCs, he left me, Evie, and Wolfie and Fastburn when we were really young. We're talking like when me and Evie were 7, my little brother was 2, Firespin was 10. Yes, we weren't that old when they got a divorce. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and please make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. And comment down below if I should make a part 2. And I just want to say, all of you with divorced parents or parents who just got divorced or whose parents are dating other people because they are divorced, I just want to say, know that you aren't alone.